Speaking at an event in Galle today, Deputy Minister of Small Export Crops Promotion, Nishantha Muthuhettigama, commented on the United National Party.
In my ministry, the Ministry of Small Export Crops Promotion, there are proposals being put forward by people that we should scrape off the cinnamon bark and send the cinnamon sticks to Sirikota because that is where the demand is. People in the UNP use cinnamon sticks to beat each other up. Therefore, I propose that we take off the cinnamon bark and send the sticks that are left behind to the major market at Sirikota. Ranil Wickramasinghe will become our leading importer of cinnamon sticks. They can distribute the cinnamon sticks sent by us and beat each other up. Deputy Minister Nishantha Muthuhettigama expressed these views at an event held in Galle today to mark his assumption of duties as a Deputy Minister through the gesture of granting 2 rescued cows to guardians.
Dag Hammarskjöld, a prominent Swedish diplomat, economist and author, served as the second Secretary General of the United Nations between 1953 and 1961 when he met with an untimely death in a plane crash. Tonight on Words of Wisdom, we take a look at Hammarskjöld's thoughts on leadership.
Your position never gives you the right to command. It only imposes on you the duty of so living your life that others may receive your orders without being humiliated. Dag Hammarskjöld, 2nd UN Secretary General.
The Supreme Court today confirmed the death sentence handed down by the Court of Appeal in the case pertaining to the murder of 18-year-old Yvonne Johnson in 2005 at the Royal Park apartment complex in Rajgiriya.
The sentence was confirmed by a Supreme Court bench comprising of Justices Salim Marzouk, Kesri Pavan and Satya Hettigama.
At the trial in the High Court, the defendant was found guilty of the murder and sentenced to 12 years in prison, a sentence that was subsequently appealed by the defendant. However, the Attorney General at the time filed a separate appeal, citing that the sentence handed down by the High Court to the defendant was too lenient. Following the consideration of the appeal filed by the Attorney General and the rejection of the appeal filed by the defendant was sentenced to death by the Court of Appeal. Subsequently, the defendant filed an appeal with the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court today did not grant leave for the appeal filed by the defendant and confirmed the death sentence handed down by the Court of Appeal. Yvonne Johnson was 18 years old at the time of a brutal murder on the 1st of July 2005.
The Centre for Monitoring Election Violence, or the CMEV, says that militarization clearly undermined the electoral process at the concluded Northern Provincial Council polls.
Speaking at a media briefing convened in Jaffna today, CMEV convener Dr. Paikyasothi Sarvanamuthu expressed these views.
Militarization was and continues to be the major impediment to the enjoyment of civil, political and socio-economic rights in the province, and the exercise of the franchise is no exception to this. CMEV, as well as other monitors, recorded a number of complaints of threat and intimidation by members of the security forces, including the Civil Defence Force. Their involvement in the campaigns of ruling party candidates and even intimidating presence on election day. In this respect, militarization clearly undermined the integrity of the electoral process, with the overall turnout figure and result representing a popular backlash in defiance against it.
The chief incumbent of the Nelligala Sri Sagala Vihara, the most venerable Rambadagalla Tilakavansha Thero, states that the villagers of the area have expressed concern over a helicopter that has been circling over several parts of the northwestern province.
Well, the Thero stated that they had been provided prior notice of this helicopter's movement.
It was reported that the helicopter had been seen in the skies over Ridigama, Dodam Gaslanda and Rambadagalla on the 18th of this month. Villagers of the area state that the helicopter had been seen continuously over the past few days. When inquiries were made previously, the Geological Survey and Mines Bureau said that the helicopter was exploring for mineral deposits.
This
is the first time in Sri Lanka that a license holder is engaging in an exploration for mineral resources with the use of electromagnetic tracking technology. I must mention that this is being done by an Australian company. The data obtained through the research will be sent to Canada and the results will be sent back to Sri Lanka. The aim of this survey is to explore for graphite deposits in these areas of Sri Lanka.
However, the officer in charge of the Ridhigama police station informed the media recently that the helicopter was being used by Air Force personnel for training purposes. Today we spoke to the OIC, HMM Jayatilaka, about this matter.
What is the story behind the helicopter that was seen hovering over the Rambaragala temple? What is happening there is that experiments are being carried out to identify the biodiversity of the area. Where is it being done from? This is being done with the Air Force and is being carried out from Sigiriya. However, according to this article, you have stated that the helicopter was part of a training program. So what you are saying is that something that you have not mentioned is what has gone in paper. No, I said that something like this was happening. It had been interpreted as something else.
We then spoke to the Air Force media spokesperson, Air Commander Andrew Vijay Surya, to ascertain if an Air Force helicopter was involved. He stated that the helicopter did not belong to the Sri Lanka Air Force. However, the Air Force had provided its assistance for the helicopter to take flight and had been provided with other facilities. The Air Force media spokesperson added that the helicopter belonged to a private institution. In the meantime, several villagers and the incumbent of the Nelligala Sri Sagala Vihara expressed these views.
There is a report that it is looking for treasure.
The Nelligala temple was constructed around the 1st century BC. This sacred ground, which is believed to have been completed in the reign of King Valagamba, is home to numerous ancient artifacts.
There are various views regarding the presence of the helicopter here. A treasure was excavated from this sacred ground recently. There was various talk about that too. Now with the presence of this helicopter too, people believe that they are looking into treasure in the area. That is what the rumors are about. Who is doing this and why? Is the helicopter searching for minerals or treasure? If you think it's minerals, then type news space A. Or if you think it's searching for treasure, then type news space B and send to 77788.
Well, we have some of the results of that poll. 13.17% responded minerals, while 86% responded treasure. Moving on, a media briefing was held at Stein Studios in Ratmalana today to launch season 6 of the hit reality TV series Sirasa Superstar.
Neon server, which is connected to the post.
The media briefing was held under the auspices of the senior management of the Capital Maharaja organization and sponsors of Sirasa Superstar Season 6. A large group of media personnel, advertisers and well-wishers participated at the event.
To present their coverage of the T20 World Cup in 2012.
Leaders inspire and have the power and energy to get the job done. At MTV and MBC, we approach each day with one goal in mind. We create, we make and we innovate. And we end the day with one thought, a job done. What motivates us, you may ask? It's the science of achievement. To take great ideas and make them work and go beyond. Unless you try to do something beyond what you have already achieved and already mastered, you will never grow. At MTV and MBC, we believe that being the best is great, you are number one, but being unique is even greater because you are the only one.
Official figures show that the US economy added 148,000 new jobs in September. The US Department of Labor said that the unemployment rate fell to 7.2%, down from 7.3% in August.
The release of the figures was delayed by the partial shutdown of the US government earlier this month. Now, the pace of expansion was slower than the 180,000 job gains predicted by economists and could add fears the US economy is losing momentum. And with that, we wrap up this edition of your Primetime News Bulletin. I'm Shayan Silva.
And I'm Minushi Ratnasekara. Good night.
News First at 9.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.